Whoa, JSN here, JSPN, Jeremy Sports Network, talking about a topic that's been buzzing around people's ears lately. Um, the NBA draft, the number one pick, and teams tanking, a la Cleveland to get LeBron. When Boston was supposedly accused of tanking to get Tim Duncan, didn't work out. Which is why you shouldn't tank, um, purposely. Not if you just, a really bad team, a really bad team. But I mean, nobody should purposely go out there and try to lose basketball games as a coach. As a GM, totally different. Do you trade away a few guys to make your team a little less formidable? Yeah, you can do that. You may want to curse him and hey, look, if you know you've got no chance, why not just, you know, let it all hang, But people, they don't want that. They don't want guys tanking to get the number one pick. So my solution. A lot of people want to reward the first four teams out. I don't want to do that. I think that's unfair. That way, the bad teams stay bad. Um, you might as well contract at that point. No, this is what you do. You reward instead of the first teams out. I don't want to reward the people that lost the chance I don't get in the playoffs, but I want to give them something to strive for, and I want to keep the balance of the bad team still having a chance to get that transcending star. They still deserve the best chance at those first five picks. But I want to reward not the team that didn't make the playoffs. I want to reward the last team that made the playoffs. I want to reward the 8th seed. I want to give the 8th seed the most ping pong balls in the lottery. Not gift them the number one pick. Not gift the first four out the number one pick. No. The team that makes the 8th seed, um, with the best record, of course. I don't want to go each conference. It has to be the 8th seed with the best record. The 8th seed with the best record gets the number one pick. Or, well, they get the most ping pong balls. And then it goes in the order that it was. The normal order. Um, it'll come down to tiebreakers if it has to come down to tiebreakers. Um, but in the end, conference versus conference, whichever team has the most wins versus that conference would win it. Um, but you reward the team that made the playoffs, and that way, because the 8th seed 9 times and they just get bounced out, and 8 seeds flare up and then they go back down. Memphis, is Memphis pretty good? Yeah. Are they a title contender? No. They were an 8 seed that's been hanging around. Guess what? That team's gonna break apart in 2 years and they won't be worth anything again. But if you were to give that Memphis team the number one pick 2 years ago, the Memphis team now would be a championship team. Um, and that's what I want to do for the NBA. That way, you still help losers, but reward those who try. Could you imagine that battle for the 8th seed? Could you imagine that if you think the number one pick is on the line? How hard you would, the coaches would coach and the GMs would, hey, we're not going to trade this guy before the deadline because we want to try to get that 8th seed. We want to try to get that number one 8th seed. I'm pretty sure, you can poke a bunch of holes in it, you know. But I think it's subject to negotiation. But I think that's the best way to handle it if you want to stop tanking. There's no other way to do it without destroying the bottom half of your league. You have to reward the team that makes the playoffs, not the teams that don't. But give the teams that don't motivation to not be terrible. It simply says, hey, don't try to be as bad as you can be when you figure you can't win it all. Guess what? If you just sneak in the playoffs, you got a chance to get the number one pick. You got a chance to turn your franchise around by succeeding. And I think that's the best thing to do. I think it's the best way to go about it, the best way to approach it. Um, if you disagree, you can comment. I would like to hear, who wouldn't like to hear important people like Commissioner Stern's view on it, but I would love to hear somebody that actually has pull in basketball, see if they could make that work, because I believe it honestly, It's the only thing you can do to prevent teams from just saying, screw it, um, let's lose. And who wants that? Who wants to watch a team try to lose? Nobody. Nobody. Of course, the players give 120% effort when they're out there to get paid to play. But the GMs, who's designed, who their goal, they're being taught, hey, make us good. And you know what? Sometimes you have to be pretty crappy to get good in sports. Um, Especially the NBA, you got to get that top 5 pick. And these guys know what it means to get LeBron, to get Durant, to get Kobe, even though he wasn't a top 5 pick. Um, to get Blake Griffin. You know, look at the Clippers before they got Blake Griffin. Who were the Clippers before they had Blake Griffin? They were the Clippers. You know, and now they're the Clippers. Blob City. You know, Blake Griffin. Cleveland, LeBron James. Now Kyrie Irving. Personality, talent equals success. Reward the 8th seed with that. Could you imagine giving Golden State 2 years ago a number 1 pick again? My God. Think about it, NBA. 8th seed, number 1 pick. Makes sense. Anti-tanking. JSPN. Yeah, man.